been a long day. How are you doing? You're still with me. Okay, good. Wonderful. As you mentioned, I'm Jenny, one of the founders of REDCHIRP. My goal today is to give you something actionable to go home with that will help you, whether you ever use REDCHIRP or not. This should not surprise you. We all love to text. I text, my parents text, my husband's 87-year-old grandmother, Grandma Colleen. She texts us. That's primarily how she communicates. She doesn't always send the right message to the right person, but that is primarily how she communicates with us. And in case you are wondering, yes, your customers want to text with your business as well. 89% of consumers report that they would like to text with the businesses that they work with. But like so many things, it's a little bit harder when you sell alcohol. Now, just because it's harder doesn't mean that you can't surmount those regulation obstacles. It does mean that an off-the-shelf texting platform may very well not meet your needs. Many of the big ones just flat out prohibit texting about alcohol on their network. But if you lean into a platform that understands the rules and helps you comply with them, there are actually many ways that you can automate the compliance needs that you have. So we have quite a challenge today. I have 20 minutes. Less than that, I'm going to try to make up some time that they need here to talk about this, and I could talk about any one of these topics for 20 minutes or more. So the plan is that I'm going to tell you my favorite way to start text messaging. Raise your hand if you are not texting your customers today. Okay, definitely some people here that haven't started yet. Then I'm going to go over a couple of my favorite strategies to grow your opt-in list. We're going to turn to look at real-life examples of some ways that you can send informational text messages right away without any extra consent on file. And I'm going to show you two of my favorite ways to text about promotions. If I have time at the end, I have 4 bonus tips that I want to leave you with as you plan what texting platform you want to use and what your strategy should be. Okay, so it's day 1. You want to start texting with your customers and you haven't been doing it yet. My favorite way to start is to let people know that they can text with you by putting a web chat feature on your website that transitions people from web chat to text. It looks something like that. Have a question, text us here. When someone fills it out, at least what we do is REDCHIRP will text the appropriate people on your team to let them know that their attention is needed. That text includes a link that you can click on to read everything about the incoming request, and you can even reply from your phone if you'd like to. Now, if you're anything like me, I hear my phone first. For better or worse, I am emotionally and physically attached to it. But I prefer to reply from my computer. I'm much better on a full keyboard. So that's what it looks like if you want to reply to one of those requests directly from your computer. And if you are at all concerned seeing how we notify you by text message, REDCHIRP will never notify you outside of the times that you allow it to. And even if you do choose to reply from your phone, REDCHIRP will never share your personal cell phone number with any of the customers that you're texting. Now, this type of web chat to text platform solves some of the major problems with traditional web chat because it takes you from the browser and transitions that conversation to happening over text message. That gives you some significant advantages. First, you can continue that conversation as long as you'd like, even after they have left your website. It gets you into a wonderful position in the text history of some of your best customers, and there's no other way to get there. There's no advertisement that you can buy that will get you there. And most importantly, although it's not required for this type of interaction, we do take the opportunity to gather express written consent for all types of future text messaging. So without lifting a finger, you can organically grow a really nice opt-in list that's very high quality. People who clearly want to communicate with your brand and would like to do that via text. Now, we know that customers love doing this, but does it really filter down to the bottom line? In order to figure that out, we worked with the wonderful folks at Wise to do some case studies with several wineries Two of those were Judd's Hill and Hesperson, both in Napa area. We did a very conservative analysis with their POS data. Who came to their site and filled out that web chat to text, had a text conversation, and then went on to purchase wine outside of a club shipment using that exact same phone number, all within that same 60-day period. We were able to attribute 34 purchases to just shy of $11,000 for Judd's Hill, much smaller winery. And then on the larger side, we were able to link this web chat behavior to 116 purchases and over $72,000 worth of purchases at Hesperson. More surprising than the sales themselves were the average age. I maybe should not have been surprised, but I was surprised to see that the average age of consumer who did that at Judd's Hill was 61, and at Hesperson, a very similar 56 years of age. And then I thought Ray said it best at Hesperson that he was able to make a direct connection between specifically that chat feature in REDCHIRP and improved wine sales there. Okay, so web chat's one of my favorite ways to start growing your opt-in list. If you would like to more proactively grow it, you can also reach out and invite your customers to join your awesome texting program. There's lots of ways to do that. You've probably experienced out there in the world, text this to this number to join. That's not my favorite way for people selling alcohol because you'll want to do some extra things like age gate. My favorite way to invite people to join your list is to ask them to fill out a quick form. REDCHIRP includes as many forms as you would need, QR codes to go to that form. You can let your creative heart guide all the ways to get people there. Email people inviting them, have QR codes in your tasting room while people are visiting you, inviting people to join. Put beautiful postcards on the top of your shipments, letting people know that they can join that way. Of course, you want to make sure that it age gates and that it collects the correct consent information for you. But most important to think about is what happens after someone fills it out. So how we work that is once that form is completed, it will automatically flow into REDCHIRP to create a contact, send a welcome text that you can customize, add them to a list or two if you would like, and most importantly, record that consent. So this is a quick little video about what that process looks like. On one side, you can see my demo form. Should be easy to fill out on desktop and mobile, collecting the information that you need from your customers. Of course, you want to include age gating like this and the correct consent information. Now, once that's completed, the other side of the screen shows you what happens in REDCHIRP automatically. We sent out your customized text welcoming them. Automatically create a contact so they're in the program for you. If you want to, you can add them to one or several lists, so you can easily bulk text everyone on a list, for example. And most important, recording that consent. So in the consent register, you can see Avery has granted us permission for all 3 types of text messaging. And if you click, you can see exactly when that happened and the full specimen of exactly what they agreed to. Now, hopefully, you will never have to prove that you have this on file. But if you do need to prove it, this makes it very easy to find. And it's saved in a way that you can prove in a court of law that you haven't digitally altered this once it was created. Okay, so people can tell you they want to text with you. You're working on growing your opt-in list. You can start right away sending out informational messages to your customers and your members about things you need to communicate to them. There's a whole suite of messages that can be really helpful. I'm going to show you 2 very specific examples. Lacey Wetmore, awesome person at Sokol Blosser in Willamette Valley. She came to me last summer and explained this problem she was having. And I bet if you sell alcohol and local people come pick it up, you have the same problem. Sometimes people take a really long time coming to get it. She had 66 members that were more than 100 days late coming to pick up their wine. It was making all kinds of headaches, taking up space, causing allocation issues, and she really wanted to recognize that revenue. She had called them and emailed and called them and emailed, and nothing was getting these folks' attention. So she sent this bulk text message to them. It went out to all 66 all at once, and then we waited 7 days and did it again. What we learned is that 2 text messages, Over the course of 7 days, Lacey was able to resolve 89% of these delinquent pickups that she was unable to move the bar on at all before. The best part were that her members actually really enjoyed getting this text message. Not a single person opted out, and many people wrote back thanking her for the helpful reminder. This time of year, many of us have just finished big club runs, and that means someone on your team, hopefully not you, is currently facing the unenviable task of calling everyone whose credit card was declined. That sucks. Nobody wants to do it. It's so hard to get people to pick up the phone. So I worked with Tracy at Cuvée-san in Napa, and instead of starting out calling, instead she used REDCHIRP to send a text all at once to 118 club members whose card had declined. I called Tracy a few hours later, that same afternoon. I asked her how it was going, and she had this to say: "I'm so happy, 41 less calls to make." A text like this will not take care of 100% of your declines, but we reliably see that it will resolve 20 to 40% of them within just a few hours, which is an excellent place to start. Okay, so we have talked about letting people text with you, growing your list, sending out informational text messages. At some point, you might also want to send out promotional text messages. They can be wildly effective, and I'm going to share 2 of them that I thought were handled very well. The wonderful Doug Fitzgibbon, Director of Consumer Sales at Charles Krug in Napa, he reached out to me last December and said, "I want to do something extra to really maximize my holiday sales. We've sent emails, the telesales team is working on it, but we've had so much success with text. I want to try that out." So admittedly, at the very last minute, he put out this text: "Can I help you with any holiday gift orders? This week is the deadline to get them to the East Coast." Very simple message, sent it out at the last minute, was able to shake loose 38 additional orders, totaling about $17,000 worth of sales. I want to brag a little bit about Adam Ryan, who's actually here. Adam, you mind waving your hand around? Adam at Corsi Graves is amazing at making his customers feel like BFFs. And I love how the promotions that they put out don't feel like a sale. They feel like someone in the tasting room remembered you, pulled out their cell phone, and texted you about something you definitely want to hear about. And he's been very successful. These text messages, he told me recently, have helped surpass the sales that he's doing by email in just a few months with text messaging. So I don't know if you can read that, but I grabbed a conversation that I thought was really illustrative of how these work. That top message is a bulk message. "Hey Bob, I know you love these wines. We're almost out. I've set a few aside for you. Would you like me to ship those to you?" What happens afterwards is the magic. This bulk message then turned into a real human-to-human, one-on-one conversation that not only sold a case of wine, but built that relationship further. Okay, so I still have a few minutes left. We have talked about getting started, growing your list, informational text messaging, promotional text messaging. I want to leave you with 4 bonus tips that you can think about as you're trying to design your text strategy. First, automation is awesome. Everybody loves automation. For example, how much do you love when you're waiting for something to come and you get a text that says, "Your package is on the way," right? To really take that automation to the next level in customer delight and in profitability for yourself, that automation should be able to facilitate two-way conversation afterwards. So you send out a message, "Your wine has shipped." They should be able to write back to you, "Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you that I moved," in a time frame that you can actually do something about it. So how we handle that is REDCHIRP will connect the right people, and you can continue that conversation human to human on the exact same thread. My next tip is that integrations are awesome. We have the folks from Commerce 7 here. They wrote the book on integrating in this industry. Their API is delightful. I do believe that your texting platform should be able to stand on its own 2 feet all by itself. but so much better if it also plays well with the other programs that you use in your life. It makes your life easier, and it makes your text more powerful. Right now, REDCHIRP integrates with Commerce7, of course, WineDirect, eSeller, VinSuite, Fair Harbor, Talk, I'm probably forgetting some. And if you wish it to have an integration that it doesn't, let me know, because we are fired up to do as many integrations as possible. My next tip is about phone numbers. They're more complicated than you would think at first glance, and they matter. Your business is not like every other business at this conference. So don't settle for a text platform that shoehorns you in to a one-size-fits-all phone number strategy. At REDCHIRP, we are able to help you text from local numbers, toll-free numbers. We can get you brand new phone numbers and any area code that you would like. We can text enable, in most cases, your existing landlines. You can assign phone numbers to individuals on your team, and you can elegantly share phone numbers with teams of people as well. I am sure that you don't need every single one of those, but some combination of that is going to be the right fit for the most powerful messaging from your business. And my last bonus tip is about credit card information. There is a better way to collect credit card information than you're doing today. If you're not already, you should be texting. Your team will thank you because it will save them hours and hours of time. Your customers will love it because it's super convenient. And this is one for the books. Even your legal and compliance teams will like it because it is more secure than what you're doing over the telephone today. Here's just a quick recording of what that looks like in our platform because it's hard to imagine. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone, you want to collect some credit card information. You can click to request payment and fill out this little form. One-time payments, ongoing subscriptions. Tell us what address information you need, and I highly recommend age gating this. Once you complete the form, REDCHIRP will automatically create a web page for this specific transaction and text that URL to your customers. When they click on it, it's going to take them to a lovely branded web page that's really easy to fill out. The key here is convenience. They don't need to log in. If they have cards saved in their browser, it will autofill. You can even use the camera on your phone to grab the credit card information. Because it's so easy, it gets filled out quickly. The numbers really speak for themselves. Across the REDCHIRP network, 42% of all payment requests that go out come back in less than 10 minutes, and 98% within the day. If any of this was at all interesting to you, I'd love to learn more about your business, show you around REDCHIRP, and answer all of your questions. You can use this QR code to schedule something on my calendar that works well for you. And as a thank you for your time, I'll send you a $50 gift card when we're done with our demo. Please feel free to reach out if you want to learn more. You are welcome to text me. You can call me, but please text me instead. You can email me, and there's a link and the QR code again to my calendar. Thank you very much. You made it through this far.